Hey, what's up everybody? Got another video here for you, and today we're looking at the Spyderco Domino. Got this in a week or two ago and just haven't gotten a chance to do a video on it yet, mainly because I've been kind of busy with some end of summer stuff. It's Labor Day weekend, it's Monday, so I'm just getting around to having some time to make some videos. Went away a few places and work's been a little busy getting ready for the fall season. So with this knife, it's been reviewed a lot already. A lot of people got it right when it came out. I got it probably a week or two after it came out because I did want to see a couple thoughts on it in reviews before I picked it up, mainly because this being the second flipper that Spyderco's done. Obviously this other got great reviews, but this was more of an in-house design obviously. So I kind of wanted to see what people thought about it and if I really needed to throw this into my collection, especially with all the other production knives I've purchased recently. And really, I've been blown away by this knife. Very impressed. And first thing to get out of the way, just to talk about, is this front scale. Majority of everyone's reviewed this, or more of the experienced knife people out there, I would say, have said that they don't like the scale. And some people said that it was trying to be passed off as a fake carbon fiber, or that Spyderco was saying it was carbon fiber when it wasn't. I don't know, everything that I've read and in the description or in the information on this knife when I got it that came out of the box, it labels or it addresses exactly what it is. It's a carbon fiber laminate. I'll bring this up close for you guys. It's a carbon fiber laminate over a G10 scale piece, is my understanding. So, I mean, it's some carbon fiber, it's the laminate of the carbon fiber, and then it's over the G10 thickness there. I guess I'm in the minority, but I like it. I think it's pretty interesting looking. It's different. I think it does give a domino look. I mean, if you've seen, there's really been two types of dominoes I've seen in my life, and one have been the matte finish kind, which I think kind of matches maybe the edge of the scale here. You know, if you look at how that black is there. And then the glossy finished ones, and they usually have kind of a little texturing inside the dimple areas of them, or where the squares depress. So I get that. I mean, if that's the reason they named this for the scale, and the people hate it for the scale, I mean, that's where the name would originate from, is my understanding from looking at it at least. I might not be right there, but if I'm looking at this, yes, this does kind of give me an idea of a domino. Some people have talked about the print design on here, and then it's either a harlequin or an argyle kind of design. And you know what, I think it's just kind of classy looking. I mean, this is a user knife, but it's probably more of a lighter duty user. You can see the blade isn't super thick. I mean, it's thick enough, and they actually, what I liked is they did kind of keep the point a little thicker too at the end, even though it's such a thin blade stock. But you won't probably break off that tip as easier as other knives that are this type of blade stock thickness. You have the flow-through design, the standoffs, the spot for the lanyard to go through. And as much as I didn't like the black pocket clip on the ZT-0801, I think the black pocket clip works on this one. Also, I apologize if my voice is a little hoarse. I was at Hershey Park yesterday, streaming on all the rides with friends and family, so my voice probably isn't in the best condition, but I wanted to get this video out when I had some free time. So the reason I like this pocket clip is because what they kind of did is crossed over the one side to the other side. So with the ZT, you know, you had everything in that silvery titanium, and then you had the black standoffs and the black pocket clip. Where this, what I like about it is that you have the black carbon fiber laminate piece on the front with the silver hardware, and on the back you have this darker stonewashed titanium with the black pocket clip with the, you know, silvery Spyderco symbol here. And I think it's a good match, you know, black and silver and then black and silver. And even when you open the blade, because this is a darker titanium than that silvery one that's on the 0801, I think the black goes better with it. And then the other thing I really love about this knife is the choil. A lot of the production knives I've gotten in lately have not had a choil in them, and I've really come to love having that choil to choke up on, especially in what I do with, you know, working with checking out boxes, samples of tape, stretch wrap, strapping, stuff like that. It's just nice, you know, I can always cut across like this, but it's also nice if I need to, like, just, you know, shave off a little piece, cut in there. This ramp right here is perfect. You have the jimping on it. And once again, I don't want to get too technical about this knife because so many people have done reviews on it. I'll put the specs in the description, but you guys can obviously go on any website and see those. So really what most impressed me about this knife, I like the thickness on it. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It sits in the pocket well. It's lightweight because of this scale on this side and just having the titanium on this side. But even if you look at it, there is a decent amount of titanium thickness on the front scale side right there. Action on this is awesome, especially for being a thinner blade stock. Sometimes I worry if there's gonna be enough weight there for it to fly out, but super smooth, super quick. Makes a great sound. Nice little schnick on this one. And the other thing I really like about this is the Spidey hole. I mean, this is my first Spyderco, but I just love that you can open it with your finger that way. I love that you can do the regular thumb opening on this one. I love that you can flick it out with the thumb. I love that you can flip it around. So really fun knife to have. I'll try and get some of these thumbprints off of here. I like the knives looking nice and clean for you guys on the video instead of staring at a thumbprint or fingerprint the whole time. Yeah. The Spyderco symbol. Also that this is the CTS-XHP. This is the first time I've had this steel. I really have heard good things about it. It's obviously, what my understanding is kind of like an upgraded version of CPM 154. That it's a better version of that. All the characteristics of CPM 154 just magnified even greater. Better corrosion resistance, stronger edge retention, but really cool. The the finish on the blades, they kind of just left the grind marks. I guess you could call it a satin finish maybe, but it's more of just a finished grind look on here. And I'll tell you what, the sharpness on this knife might rival the Microtech. If you saw my last video, the Microtech seemed to be the best at cutting that, the catalog paper that I showed you guys, and then also obviously the copy paper. But I'll show a quick cut test with this for you. So first off, we have the paper. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit to give myself some room. Fan it out a little bit. Okay. So here's your basic 8.5 by 11 copy paper. And you can just see how smooth that is. Here's a nice little slicer cut. And then here's just a nice little push cut. I mean, look at that. That's just impressive right there. It's obviously a thinner blade, but as you can see with some of the other knives that were on the thinner side, I just think this flat grind really helps it out. I mean, looking at Gabco's videos, he always talks about the convex and flat grinds being the best, and I can really see where that comes into play with these. So we'll get this out of the way, and then we'll show you the real impressive part. Here's this catalog paper. Yeah, flip it open another way for you. There you go. Change it up a little bit. It's just the flipper's so great on this, but I do like the different ways you can open it. So, get this here. How about that? I mean, you really need to check out the last video I did. You can skip ahead to it on, my production knives and cutting tests. But this, I think, might be the best, or at least tie with that Microtech, because it's ridiculous how easy it is to cut this paper with it. I mean, look at that. It's insane. I mean, if you want to do a push cut with this, it's like ripping it now, but let's see. Yeah, see? I mean, that's just crazy. What I'm doing is I'm giving it a little low right here, catching up on the choil. That's why it's catching a little bit, as I do with all these smaller knives. Let's see if we can even go against the grain. Wow, look at that. That's... And you can see that design I did, the other knives were not able to do that. So really, if you want a great slicer, cutting ability on this thing is just off the charts. Obviously, it's made in Taiwan, but it's made in Taichung, which is known for its great quality and everything. And a lot of people said that they almost enjoy the Taiwanese Spydercos made better than the American-made ones, the ones made in the USA. You have to remember, most of the parts here are done actually in the US and then shipped overseas just to be assembled and finished. But I am highly impressed with this knife. And for my needs, this may be my perfect EDC. I know there's a lot of people that say it's hard for them to say perfection and everything out there, but for what I do, the size, the fit, I like the look of it personally, the cutting ability, the flipping ability, the versatility of it, it's just awesome. There's nothing really I would change about this knife. To nitpick, just for whatever reason, let's say, let me get this out of here. The only thing is I might want this pocket clip moved up a little bit more, because there is a lot that sticks out when you put it in your pocket and it's not that big. Excuse me, I'm sorry guys. It's not that big a knife, so you already have, when you put it in your pocket, this much sticking out. So you have maybe 10% of the knife at least sticking out of your pocket from where this is. And for what I do, I understand concealed carry, or not concealed, but deep carry. Some people say, people still know it's a knife. It's still a knife in your pocket, even if it's, you know, deep carry. Well, you know what? There's a lot of people that aren't that observant. They're not knife nuts like most of us, you know? So even if you had, you know, if you had the deep carry and had the weird pocket clip sticking out, half the time they won't even notice it, but they may notice a thicker piece of something sticking out of your pocket, you know. So I saw someone had switched out the clip into something else that was a deeper carry on a video, and that looked pretty cool to me. So that would be my only thing I might change, but everything else I love. I love the stonewash on this finish. I'll give you some macro shots of this. You know, it's great because I can put this in the pocket. It's not going to show any wear on it. And I love the, you know, grind finish on the blade. At first I didn't know if I'd like it, but I like it as far as how it matches up with the knife. I really enjoy the scale, even though most of you probably don't like it. Maybe you're not getting, no one's gonna enjoy that I like that scale, but I think it's pretty classy looking. I know some people thought it looked, you know, cheap or something. I don't know. It has some texturization, so it has a little bit of grip to it. I think it's cool, especially if I take it out in front of people that maybe aren't knife enthusiasts. If I'm at a job and I got to go cut open a box or you know, slice open a strapping or something, I pull this thing out. I don't think that they'd be as intimidated by it, and I think they'd ask more questions about it, like, wow, that's neat. That's, you know, how the light reflects off of it. The size of it is perfect. And once again, really what I love about this is the choil option on it, compared to all the other knives that didn't have that. And just to give you a little size comparison on this, here's this one. Here is the CRKT NERC 2. Here is the Boker Federal. And here is the 0801. Now, I want to say it's a little bit bigger than the CRKT, and then the rest of these are all a little bit larger. But here, once again, I like this knife a lot, and this is what I was carrying for work, or, you know, carried a couple of times along with my Silent Soldier flipper. But you can see this choil here pushes your hand down just that little bit, and this has been great cutting this way. And I really like the satin finish on this one. It's really nice, actually. And the overall size on this may be pretty close to this as far as the handle, you can see. But where this choil pushes you down, this choil kind of sucks you in a little bit, the first choil, and then you have the second choil option on it. So when I put this in hand, you see there's no sliding on it. It's just pushing against my skin. Where I put this in hand, and you can see that little bit of slip there, and I can't choke up on this. You know, if I could choke up on this, this would be awesome. If you could, but you know, you have such a small blade here, I guess they didn't want to lose any with the choil, but they were able to do it with the, you know, with the Spyderco here. So, you know, you have it like this, but then you can even have greater control on it that way. So, pretty close as far as that goes. Then you have the Boker here. I put these next to each other. Let's see if we can Fan this out a little bit more. There we go. Bring this down. So, you know, the Boker's a little bit longer blade, slightly longer handle. Thickness, definitely thicker. And you do have a deeper carry pocket clip with this, but I gotta tell you, this pocket clip is not the most fun to work with. It's pretty strong when you get it on the pocket to pull off, and then secondly, it's pretty hard to get on the pocket anyways. 440C versus CTS-XHP, obviously, made in China versus made in Taichung. But once again, you can see with this, it's good purchase on the hand. It feels good, good control, but once again, I would love to have a choil on this, and they didn't put a choil in here. And really what's gotten me to love the choil is when I was out in California and San Diego and I got to meet with Elliot Williamson of Ferrum Forge, I got to handle a number of the Pretiums, and I didn't even realize he'd put a choil on those, but it was so comfortable and it felt so great. I just love having that secondary carry or hold option on the knife, and even in reverse options when you can roll your pinky up on a choil, it's very nice. So we get that out of the way, that's out of the way. So then you have, you know, your ZT-0801. You can see it is larger, it is heavier, it's got the double titanium side on it. Stonewash finish, LMAX versus CTS-XHP. You know, kind of a very similar bottom half of the knife. And then flip these over for you. Both having the black pocket clip, but having the stainless steel hardware versus the blacked out hardware. So, flippability, I'd say they're pretty much on par as far as speed go. You get a little bit more kick out of this one, but they're both ridiculously smooth, you know. Great speed coming out. A little bit thicker, I'd say, on the LMAX with the rounded edges on it. But, you know, as far as handle thickness, pretty similar, you know. A little bit more weight. This is about 1.5 ounces more than this one. But once again, and this is a longer blade, there's no real choil. I mean, they haven't softened this area here, so you can't really, I mean, I would definitely roll up and slice my finger right there, you know. So just something to be aware of on that. This does carry a little bit deeper. You only have this little bit of point sticking out, and I would be fine with that on this one too. Like I said, that's my only nitpick thing. But $190 for this, $190 for this, pretty much. I understand this is USA made, and this is double titanium side, and this is a laminate carbon fiber G10. The steel, I'd probably say, is comparable. But I really just think because of the slicing ability of this, because of the slightly lighter weight in the pocket, and really this isn't going to show any marks on it because you have this whole stonewash side where this is more of a finish side. You might see a little bit more marks on this carrying it, and I don't think this is going to mark up at all. It's just smooth, it's just going to glide. I honestly would have to go with the Spyderco. And I don't like to really pick a knife over another knife, and obviously you can see I have all of them, so it's not a big difference there. But this really is the winner for me, and I don't have an issue with the front scale, so that doesn't come into effect for my decision on it. So, guys, really love this knife. I love all these knives. I love having them and the differences between them. But as far as for what works for me, this is the best EDC option. And really, one more look at something else with about a minute left here is just comparing this to a Silent Soldier, because this was my other daily carry. There's only 3 knives I really carry with me. It's this one, and then I carried this one because this is the stonewash finish, so this isn't going to show any wear on it really. And now I think it's going to be this. All the rest of them are pretty much collector pieces that I, you know, do the videos on. I'll cut some paper and some you know, some catalog paper, show some stuff on that. I obviously play with them a ton, but I'm more of a Terra Fanatic type collector if you want to go that way. So these, I think, are very similar if you want to think about them, because both have the holes in them, obviously. Carbon fiber laminate. This is you know, the carbon fiber on both sides, not the Framlock version. But this is a stonewash finish on this one, which I've shown a video of. And really, you have good purchase in the hand here, and then you can choke up here. He softened this area, so it's perfect. So hope you guys like all that. A little bit difference in the price on these, but let me know what you think, and we'll cut this off right at the 20-minute mark. But good stuff, check it out, and I'll get back to you with some more videos. Thanks a lot.